Hey everybody, how are you all doing? I pray all is well. So today, what's today? Tuesday. So this morning, what I'm doing something like a little bit different. Something that I want to do is I just want to chill on the charts for today. So if you're on Instagram, you guys can click the link in my stories and it's going to take y'all to my trading view. Okay. So I'm going live on trading view. I'm on a price chart right now. If you're watching me on YouTube, hey, how are you? I pray all is well. I just wanted to hop on a price chart. It's been a while since I've done this on TradingView and YouTube. I think it's been like a month or 2 months, maybe 3 months since I've last went live on YouTube and TradingView. And I just wanted to hop on the price charts and just talk to y'all about a few basics. I know that right now I'm getting a lot of new people who follow me. Hey, Jermaine. I'm getting a lot of new people who follow me on Instagram and who follow me on YouTube. We literally just hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm very blessed. I'm thankful. I thank you guys for rocking with me. It's been a journey, right? I've been on YouTube for years. I've been on TradingView for TradingView for years. I've been on um Instagram for a few years too. And I just wanted to come on and literally just talk to y'all while we're on the charts. Instagram people, the link to the charts is going to be in my story, so check my stories, okay? And let me type that as well. All right, so check the stories for the link, you guys, okay? Let me see if I can pin this comment. All right, that way y'all can join me on TradingView and YouTube. So basically what we're going to be talking about today is basically how to understand the price chart that you're on, that you're trading. What do we do in the Forex market? That's what we're going to be talking about, okay? So every month for the past 2 months now, actually going on 3 months now, I've been doing a price action masterclass. And this is basically where I am giving traders a strategy to trade, a full blown strategy from A to Z. But the first thing that we do is I teach them how to understand what they're actually trading, how to connect to what they're actually trading. One of the first things that we do. And what I find is a lot of traders really need the basics before they learn a strategy. And that's why I am here today. So if you've ever wanted to take a class with me, if you've ever wanted to be taught by me, or you just want to know the basics for yourself so you can improve and get ahead, this is going to be very important. Okay. So, first thing first, let's just look at the price chart. Okay. I'm going to hop on my price chart here. I'm going to go through these basics with y'all. So, first thing first is when you get on your chart, you're basically looking at a currency pair. But what I ask you to do is not try to read the inside of the price chart first. Other times we get glued to the candlesticks. Yours may be a black background or a white background. You may have green and red candlesticks. They're all coming at you, bing, 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 from everywhere, right? But that's not one of the first things you want to do. What you want to do is get acclimated with the currency pair that you're trading. So for this example, we're going to be on pound USD. And hey, everybody who's on YouTube, I appreciate you guys for being here. So this is one thing that we're going to do. We're going to look at pound USD first. One of the first questions that I always ask every single trader when I'm teaching them one-on-one or whether it's a masterclass is if you had 10 seconds to tell someone what you do as a Forex trader, what would you tell them? Right? And I want y'all to think about that and type it in the comment section. You have 10 seconds to tell someone what you do as a trader, and you have to make it to where they understand. What would you say is the question. Hey, Sid, how are you doing, sweetheart? But that's the question. What would you say? Okay. I typically get the normal answers. I get people who say, well, I exchange currencies or I buy currencies. I buy currencies in the foreign exchange market. I trade the Forex market, things of that sort. And I asked them to add just one more layer to that, add one more piece to that, and simplify it a lot more. We basically buy and sell currencies to make money, or we basically buy and sell currencies for profit. That is technically what we do. Okay. And the reason why I add for money or for profit is because I want you to manifest what it is that you do. I want you to speak it into existence, what it is that you do. It is not enough to say we buy and sell currencies because anybody can do that. I did that when I worked in the bank in Germany, but I got paid by the bank to do that. You see what I'm saying? Anyone can go to an ATM and whether they're in an airport or overseas and exchange their currency for another at an ATM or at a bank there. Anybody can do that. But you are doing that with the hopes to make money, the hopes to make profit. That's what you do. Add that extra piece of layer there. Okay. So one of the first things we're going to do here is we're going to look at the outside of the price chart. It's not enough to say I trade Euro USD or I trade Pound USD or USD CAD or whatever the case may be. You got to break this down. What specifically are you doing when you trade these things? So, for example, Pound USD. We're going to start with the pound first. Anytime you look at a currency pair, understand that the very first currency within that currency pair is called a base currency. Base means the first. Base also equals the number one. So the value you're giving the first currency is just equal to one. In this case, 1 pound. But the question is, what does 1 pound cost in another currency? Because they're exchanging, right? Remember, foreign exchange, there is a fee. Okay. Now, understand that the first currency is also the currency being sold because someone else is buying it, right? So we're going to say that this is our supply. The supply is the pound. If you could pick up a pound right now, some of y'all might live in the UK, or maybe you've been to London or England, like somewhere over there. One of y'all may have a pound on you right now, or maybe you've seen a pound. But if you've never seen it, I really ask that you go Google, what does a pound look like? Because we can't be in this market and not know what it looks like. You need a connection to what you're actually trading. Because what if one day you do go to the UK? What if one day you say, I'm going to go be a tourist and I'm going to go travel over there? So, this is why we have to make a connection with the outside of the price chart first. Now, the next currency in the currency pair for this example is the United States dollar. This is what we call the quote, meaning it's the second currency in a pair. It takes two currencies to make up a pair. So this is just the second. This one is the one that gets the exchange rate. If you're looking on your price chart with me right now, if you look on the upper right hand corner of your price scale, do y'all see where it says USD? It literally says United States dollar, and then it's giving you a list of numbers. These are the exchange rates, or AKA the prices. This is how you know how much one, remember, the value of 1 pound, how much does it cost in United States dollar? That is what we're trading. So when you really look at it, 1 pound equals how many dollars? That's what we're trading. If this was Euro USD, it would be the same. Euro would be the base. How much does 1 euro cost? Because now you're going to go look at it in the dollar on the price scale. If this was New Zealand dollar CAD, okay, I have one New Zealand dollar equals one. It's which one value, right? But how much would it cost in Canadian dollar? So you're gonna go to your price scale and you're gonna go look at it. At this moment, how much does that cost? That's how we trade. Okay, we're exchanging that. Now, it's now we can go to the inside of the price chart, okay? Because when I typically ask a trader, do you understand what it is you're actually reading without the bars? They're like, without the candlesticks? I'm like, yeah. They're like, no. I'm like, let's do that now. Understand what you're trading before you look inside to see how much it costs. Okay, so here's just a mock up. We're going to do a quick example here. Okay, quick example. So let's just say, for example, we see that the prices are declining on pound USD. And remember, we're asking ourselves, how much does 1 pound cost? And are we the buyers or are we the sellers in this thing? Okay. So let's just say, for example, we see price go from $1.29, and we're going to add the end, those extra three numbers, 617. It drops down to 1.29182. Then it goes back up to 1.29491. Then it goes down to 1.28783. Then it goes down, I'm sorry, it goes back up to 1.29163, and then price just continues down. This is what we would know as a downtrend. And the really important areas or prices, the exchange rates that we're going to look at is typically going to be at the highs and the lows, the highest prices, the lowest prices. These are the prices that are causing fluctuations, and we know them as trends, right? Now, one of the tools that I'm using to get these exchange rates so I don't have to look at the price chart is called a price note tool. Okay. The way you get this tool is technically there should be like a T right here. If you're on trading view, like on the left hand side of your screen, those icons. And if you click the arrow here and you scroll down, you can click the star next to price notes. And these are giving me the exchange rates, right? If y'all look at my videos, y'all see these exchange rates or this price note tool in almost every single video that I do. Every single trade that I take, I have these tools on. Why? Because I don't trade typical structure. I really want these numbers because here's the thing what we're doing. Every time price decreases at the highs, and I want you to think about this, what did price do every time it decreased? Look at the numbers: 1.29617, 1.29491, 1.29163. What the prices keep doing, they keep decreasing, they keep declining. So what this means is if you look at it, the cost of the pound keeps decreasing, even at the lows here. 1.29182, or at the dollar sign in front of it, $1.29182, $1.28713. What does this mean for the people who live in the United States in this area? What this means is they're able to buy the pound at cheaper prices as long as price keeps decreasing. Now, hear what I just said. I said that the people in the United States are able to buy the pound cheaply, or businesses who are doing in the United States who are doing business with the UK, they're able to do business at a cheaper price in this moment. Why? Because the price is decreasing. Imagine you had £1 and you told someone who lived in the United States, I would keep for the week or for the 2 weeks or however long, I would keep exchanging my pound with you. And if I lived in the United States, I would be happy that price keeps decreasing. Because to spend 29 cents extra for £1 could get expensive depending on how many pounds you need. So every time price declines, I'm happy. But us as the trader, we're going to trade this information, and we're going to want to be the sellers as long as price keeps declining. Every time we see price continue to drop and raise, continues to drop and raise, continues to drop and raise, this is for us as the trader to say, hey, every time price pulls back and goes a little bit higher, I keep seeing that at the highs, the price keeps declining. So you as a trader, you're supposed to trade below the highs. Okay. That's why we talk about supply and demand a lot. The supply is the pound at this moment, the pound in the United States dollar. But if the pound keeps decreasing and I see that these people in the United States are able to buy it at a cheap price, my trading brain should say I should sell this information to make a profit because we're in a downtrend. This is the season that we're in. Now, it could be opposite, and it is opposite when price goes into an uptrend, right? When we start to see the value or the price of the pound now start to increase, and listen to these numbers here: $1.28,896, $1.29,327, $1.28,966, $1.29,631, $1.29,214. If we take a look at the high prices and what we know as higher highs, what do? 1.29327 increases, listen to the words, increases up or goes up to $1.29631. This is evidence that there is a demand for prices to want to go up now. And if we look at our lows, right, our discounted prices, whenever price, pulls back, 1.28896, price pushes up to 1.28 or $1.28966, up to $1.29214. That's when we're looking at our highs and our lows. And as long as price or these exchange rates keep increasing, then we are the buyers. You are the buyers. Because now look at the real world situation. Once again, if I wanted to buy 1 pound, I am now understanding as a consumer, I am buying the pound at higher prices. So it's only natural as a human being, I want a discounted price. So I'm going to wait for price to pull back and get a little bit cheaper before it goes back up and then buy again. When it goes back up high, I don't want to buy there. I want to wait. I want the best deal possible. So I'm going to wait for price to decrease again. And then I'm going to say, hey, I want price to go back up so I can buy some more. It's only natural as human beings. But as a trader, the trader mind says, keep buying with the uptrend. This is not the seller's market. That's not what this is. Okay. So let's go to a price chart or the price chart and let's look at some scenarios. Okay. Let's look at some scenarios here. And if y'all have a question, y'all be sure to ask. If you have a question, be sure to ask. Okay. So here's the situation here. We can see on the price chart, this is pound USD. I'm on a 4 hour time frame. Okay. We can see on the price chart that price went up to $1.24 238, and then it decreased down to $1.22 747, and then price went all the way back up to $1.25 260s. The moment that price made this new high and it pushed past $1.24 238, your trading mind should go off. And if you're brand new, what this is called is price has made a new higher high, because we're already at a high, meaning this is already the highest price before price dropped, right? This wick indicated the highest price before we saw a decline in the market. And then this wick here, this was the lowest that price could go, a dollar 22 746, and then price just pushed all the way up, right? But then when a dollar passed $1.24 238, what this lets us know is that the buyers, that there's a demand for the pound, and the pound is going to keep getting more expensive. So here's the question: if price made a new high, does that mean you should buy at that moment? If price went all the way up to $1.25 260, normally what ends up happening is, if you're new, or if you've done this before in the beginning of your trading career, you know where I'm going with this. You've probably already bought there. You're like, okay, I'm gonna buy. I see there's a lot of momentum, especially after this candlestick right here. You say, oh my gosh, there's a lot of momentum. I don't want to miss the ride. I don't want to miss the wave. That's a strong bullish candlestick. I'm going to go ahead and buy. But then what happens after you buy? Eventually, what ends up happening is that price starts to decline, price starts to decrease. And we have to be careful buying at new all-time highs and new all-time breaks, especially in the currency market. It's different in the stock market. You can do something like this and get away with it, but it's different in the currency market because there is more volatility, there are more fluctuations. And what happens sometimes, soon as you buy a situation like this, price pulls back and then you're in drawdown and then you're frantic and then you don't know what to do. So when price is in an uptrend, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for price to pull back. And what we want to see happen when there is a flow, when there is a trend, we're going to want to see price stay above the last discounted price before price goes up. That's what we're going to want to see. So if 1.22746, or if $1.22 746 was the very last higher low or the very last lowest price, if price can pull back and stay above that price, I'm going to want to buy above it before price makes a new high. That's what we do in the currency market when there is an uptrend. A lot of times we try to, look at every single candlestick. I want to know what this candlestick is doing, this candlestick is doing. By the time you know it, hours have passed. All you did was watch candlesticks. You watched it for hours, probably done nothing, which isn't a bad thing if you do nothing, but you don't want to sit and wait either. What you want to do when you trade is this is where strategy comes in at. You want to find a strategic place to enter a trade when you're the buyer or the seller, right? But the first thing that you really want to get used to, the first thing that you really want to do is learn how to identify when a high has been made before a drop comes and when a low has been made before a push up comes. When is price going to increase? When is price going to decrease? And all we can do is estimate it. And as you see, what ends up happening is when price makes a new high, like in this situation, we're going to do the same thing again. When price passed $1.25 260 and it went up to $1.25 460, once again, this is not the time to be the buyer at this time. You're still a buyer, but this is not the best place to buy because we keep getting these fluctuations. Price pushes up past the high and it pulls back. Do we not think that the same thing can keep happening because it potentially can? So we're going to wait for it at the pullback. And then what are we going to say? The same situation. We're going to wait for it to see if price can stay above the last low and then push up. And if it can keep doing that, this is what's causing the uptrend. That's the uptrend. That is demand. There is demand for the pound. Okay, pound is the supply being bought. It's the inventory. It's the currency being bought. That's supply and demand. Let's talk about it to the downtrend. When prices are decreasing, when prices are dropping, okay? When prices are dropping, it's the same way. We're going to need a flow. A flow. That's what we're looking for. We need to see evidence of the highs and evidence of the lows, and we need to see that they're going somewhere, right? So, for example, price went down. This is the words 124 or $1.24 442. I don't know if I said too many fours. $1.24 442. I think I said it right. Then it went up to $1.25 472. Then down again to $1.24 222. Okay, when price made this new low right here, when the price dropped, that was the evidence that the sellers have control. That was the evidence that now the pound is being sold at cheaper prices. And if I'm the buyer of the actual currency, the physical currency at that moment, like I'm happy that the pound is cheaper. I'm happy to buy it at a cheap price. As a trader, I'm going to trade someone else's happiness. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, even though physically or business wise, they can buy, and these are people who probably don't even look at price charts. So let me just tell y'all that now. There's a difference when you're the one who's actually consuming the currencies, and there's a difference when you're trading the currency. So let me just say that now. Most consumers don't know this information. They're not looking at the price charts to make a decision. Most of them are reading the news or listen to the news, reading the news. Most of them are online. Most of them are going to the banks. Most of them are paying bills. You see what I'm saying? So all they know is price is cheap for them to buy the pound, right? So when we look at this and we look at this information, like for me as a trader, I'm going to say, okay, even though it's cheap, that doesn't mean I should sell here because the moment I try to sell this and price goes up, I'm in drawdown. I don't want to be in drawdown. So now what I want to do is I want to wait till price pulls back. I want to see if it can stay now below the last highest price and sell down for profit. Because if price made a new low here, what makes me think it can't do it again? Prayfully, it does it again, right? Prayfully, there's something happening in the economy fundamentally that says the pound can push down further. And if so, using strategy, wherever I want to say, hey, this is the best place for me to sell, the range is below this exchange rate. So anywhere where I sell below this exchange rate and price can come and pass the low exchange rate where it just came from, I want to make profit when it moves that way. I want to make profit in this trade or in this position. And we're going to see if it can keep doing it. For example, price made a new low. $1.23 is lower than 1.24222. This is the evidence that price wants to continue down. This is the evidence that we still have sellers in the market. That's the evidence. And so now I'm going to say, okay, so where did the sellers just come from? $1.25, 103. Can they stay below this exchange rate? And if so, anywhere below this exchange rate is where I am going to sell. I'm going to create this range. I'm going to find the ideal price or prices for me to sell. And if price can pass this lowest exchange rate again, I can make profit. And to do this is where we create strategy, right? This is first what we're doing is remind you, I told you guys that I'm on pound USD and I am on a 4 hour time frame. It's one of the first things that I mentioned, right? Pound USD, 4 hour time frame. Great. We have a time, we have a period in which we're going to come and analyze the price charts. That is very important. But the second thing we're going to do is say, what is the concept that I am learning to say this is the ideal place for me to enter and exit a trade? Concepts or strategies, right? You got so many nowadays. You got support and resistance, which most people use. You can do the levels, you can do the zones, right? You have trend lines, which most people use. Um, you have now ICT, you now have SMC, Smart Money Concepts. I teach a TMP system based on the trend, structure, and price action, right? You have chart patterns. All you need to do is just choose one of those concepts. Choose a concept. But the biggest thing that I want to show y'all is this. You can literally trade a concept based on this price note tool. Because here's the thing, if you can recognize this first, the highs and the lows, these are the most important prices on your chart. I can promise you that. They're the most important prices. You can literally create a full system just using these price note tools. I do. I did. I have. I teach it. When I learned this, when I learned to keep the charts literally this clean and literally just be able to add one line to say this is my entry, or one zone to say this is my entry. I'm going to just focus on this area, focus on this part. I'm going to trade down with the flow of price action, or say, hey, I want to trade with the flow of the exchange rates. That's when trading became easier. I don't want to complicate this. We don't want to complicate this. That's not what we want to do. And if you're new to trading and you're still trying to learn what to do, I promise if you just do what I just did, learn what you're trading, look at your price scale to see where that exchange rate is, focus on your highs and your lows first. Use the price note tool to just plot the highs and the lows. Look to see how the asset that you're trading flows. Is it a flow where you can catch moments like this? I call these pretty areas. Pretty areas is when you can see the consistent trend. And sometimes that trend will break off. It's supposed to. Nothing is going to trend forever. But when it begins to trend again, can you see it is the question. And if you can see it and you can validate it and you create rules around it, it's going to help make trading easier. But the first thing, if the first thing you do is come on your chart and you just start plotting lines everywhere, this is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. Anybody can plot a line, but what you need to do is first establish yourself as the buyer or as the seller. And when you establish yourself as the buyer or as the seller first, you see what price is doing and where it's going. And then you look to say, okay, I can enter the trade here. And the best place for me to exit is here. Trading will become a lot more easier, a lot more clear to you. Okay. That's all I wanted to come on here and talk about, y'all. And I'm shocked it took less than 30 minutes to do this. I'm happy about that. Really, really happy about that. So, do I have any questions, y'all? I just really wanted to come on here and chill and talk to y'all. Like, I've been really teaching this concept for a while now, and it's been so great, so helpful. And man, I don't know. I'm excited to teach this to more people. I'm excited to see what more people do with this. I really am. Really excited. So are there any questions, y'all? I think I had someone make a statement. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Jermaine, are you still in here too? Hey God's kid, how you doing, sweetheart? I didn't even see you. I pray all is well too. I'm doing well. I'm doing really good. No questions for now, but enjoying the content. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I really am. All right, y'all. Any questions? Because I'm gonna tell you how I tell people. If you don't have a question, I think you got it. And if y'all were on Instagram, if y'all check out my YouTube or Trading View, like I said, links were in the story. Y'all will be able to see what we're doing here. Hmm. And did any of y'all catch that pound USD drop? I'm actually in it still. I'm probably gonna hold it for a little bit, but that was a beautiful drop. So, what would have been your entry trigger? The candlesticks. Honestly, I enter on one candlestick at a time. So I have a one candlestick method. Basically, what I do is I look at the highs and the lows. I give you the game right now. I tell everybody this. I don't know why they don't believe me though. So I enter based on lower highs and higher lows. And whatever that candlestick is, I do my best to trade above it or below it. And I use a candlestick, that one candlestick at the high, that one candlestick at the low. I use it as my structure. So that's what I do. And that will be my entry. I said pending orders, or sometimes I enter the trade manually and I just let it be. Someone asks, how can you spot or trend reversal? So in a downtrend, you know how like when you plot your lower highs, right? The very last lower high that you plot, if that candlestick is passed, that's the reversal, right? Now, you don't want to just enter at the reversal. What you want to do is you want to wait for price to pull back and see if it can stay below, I'm sorry, above the last low, and you buy above it, right? If price in a downtrend, when you're plotting your higher lows, like the last lowest price that you just plotted, because that's where the last book of buyers just came into the market. When you get the sellers who come in and they push price past it, and they're like, hey, we're going to stay below this price. Well, what do you think is going to happen next? The buyers are going to come and try to tempt you. So if price can stay now below the last highest price, that last higher high, you're going to sell below it. And if it's a true reversal, you're going to start to see that downtrend. So personally, that's how I like to spot reversals. The higher low has to be passed by the sellers, or the lower high has to be passed by the buyers. That's how I spot it. Veronica said, I caught the drop, coach. I'm planning to hold it. Nice, Veronica. My girl. Hey, what's up, ancestor? Been holding on the 5th of this month. Nice. I'm very new to this. What would be the best way to describe what forex trading is? Forex trading, and thank you for asking. I caught that. Forex trading, we're basically, like I said in the beginning, we're exchanging currencies for money, right? For example, right now we're on pound USD, the chart, right? Imagine you got both currencies in your hand. Here's the question. How much is 1 pound worth? Right? That's the question. So I'm gonna go to my price chart and whatever, like let's go to where it is now. Okay. All right. So at this moment, I'm gonna round this up. 1 pound is worth $1.26,584. So we're gonna round and say $1.2658, right? I'm gonna just give you $1.26. Or if I want to round it up because we're at the five, I'm gonna give you $1.27. But here's the question: in the future, will the pound still be worth more or less? So if I believe that the pound is going to be worth more as a trader, I'm going to buy that information. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to buy the fact that I believe the pound can go up and cost more to the people who live in the United States. That's just this currency pair now. It's more currencies, right? But that's just this example. But if I believe that price is going to continue to go down, I'm going to sell that information. The fact that I believe that price is going to decrease in the future. So that's what we do as Forex traders. And we have to remember that this is intangible, meaning it's not physical. It only becomes physical once you hold the currency in your real hands. Like when I worked in the bank, there was this gentleman who always came in around 3. Germany is 6 hours ahead of us, right? Who I live in the United States. So Germany is 6 hours ahead of us. But at 3, which means that the New York session had just opened, that's when we would change our exchange rates. Because I want to show y'all something too. I want to teach y'all something. Banks are not looking at the exchange rates 24/7. That's not what they're doing. Okay. And I mean banks who do this over the counter. Like they look at one price every single day. The price changes every single day. So please keep this in mind. What we do as traders and what some banks do are totally different. Okay. But when that rate changed for us, he will always come in and say, "Hey, did I was in Germany, so we did with the euro. Did the euro price increase or did it decrease?" Because what he was trying to do was see if he could buy more and make money on the exchange physically, or if he could sell it. You see what I'm saying? Like he was actually trading it based on the value. So there's different ways to do this, but that's what he was doing. It was very physical to him. So, but that's what we do in the market, and we deal with what's called conversion rates and reconversion rates. So we deal with the reconversion rate because if you turn this upside down, USD pound, like there is actually a USD pound too, but we don't trade those rates. So in the currency market, we trade one type of rate. We trade a reconversion rate. How can we reconvert this? So that's what we do in the market. Okay. Any other questions, y'all, before I go? And I probably got questions here on TradingView, but for some reason, TradingView don't be showing me no questions. And I bet I'll get them after this. Or y'all good. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about this drop really quick though. Before we do go, this drop was just it's just beautiful. If y'all follow me on Instagram, I did talk about price dropping because this was the reversal. I'm glad he mentioned the reversal too. I'll show you guys this an example of what I mean. So this is an example of price reversing. All right, if y'all look at the exchange rates, price went from $1.27, then it went up to $1.28. Now, for me personally, looking at this, if price would have stayed above $1.2612, I would have been happy to buy at this price. But I did buy and I got stopped out, right? But when price reversed, I was like, oh snap. And it was literally by one pip. I've made an updated video on Instagram. It's one of my reels. And I was saying, okay, I want to see if price can stay below $1.28322. And what did price do? It ended up staying below it after that reversal. And then it even just made a new low, right? And so now that it made a new low, this highest wick here just became the lower high. And so what I did was I'm selling. I'm in a sale right now, selling below this lower high to see if price will go down to $1.25965 and then even further. And so once again, it's finding a flow in the market. I'm not really concerned about every single candlestick that forms. I'm more so concerned about my highs and my lows. I don't put anything in between these because I want to see that price can flow. I don't for me personally with my system, I don't want to buy and stop sell system. Buy here, stop here, buy here, stop here. I don't want that kind of system. I've created a system that makes price that not makes price flow, but where I trade with the floor price. How are you able to put the numbers on the chart? The number that has the oh, that's a price note tool. So if you come over here to your left icons, and it's going to be like where you see the T. So if you come over here and you click on annotation tool and you go down, it's literally the price note tool. And I have a star, so it's in my favorites bar. I pray I got favorites bars too, because it makes, analyzing your chart a lot easier as well. And so I'm using this, and then I just come over here and I click this tool where I want it to go. And you can literally customize this tool. You can change the color. You can change how thick the line is, how thin the line is. You can have a different line color, different number color. If you click this pinwheel or you double click on the tool under the box, it's going to appear to keep doing the same thing. But this is how I do it. You can also change, where is it? You can change where the numbers are. Is it the numbers or is it the line? I'm not sure. Let me see. Nope, not the numbers. I think it's just a line. I don't know why it's like that. I'm gonna just cancel that because I don't want to change the thing I'm doing. You can lock it into place so it doesn't move. But yeah, you can save it as a template. Like if I only wanted this to show on my daily time frame and not any other time frame, I can do that as well. So it's pretty cool. Hey Kelly, you're very welcome. How are you doing, sweetheart? I pray all is well. Mm. Yeah, I plan on holding this one for a little bit longer. I've also used moved my stops down too, just a little bit. It's not break even or anything, but I did take some risk um, off of this trade. So yeah. But any other questions, y'all, or we're good to go? Because after this, I'm also not updating, I'm actually uploading a video talking about the same thing that I just talked about here in a little bit more detail as well to YouTube. So that video is going to be out in like the next 30 minutes to an hour. So you guys can come and watch it as well too. Okay. So you don't use any engulfing candles or hammers or anything. I do. There are four candlestick categories that I use. I use rejection candlesticks, and in that category are hammers and inverted hammers. I use bearish and bullish engulfings. That's the second category. I use spinning top or spinning bottom. That's the third category. And the last category is a doji plus one of those candlesticks. So yeah, I do. If you go on, if like I said, I can tell some of y'all are new to my channel. Go through my channel and I talk about the different things that I do and use. It's an open bookcase. I got the pound USG drop. I just sell after it touched supply and broke. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Just want to say I love your charting video. I trade stocks instead of Forex, but your tips help me a lot. Hey, that is awesome because I also use what I do in the stock market as well. I don't discriminate. Okay. So I do use it in the stock market too. Before I was a Forex trader, I invested in stocks. And Forex just helped me learn how to read charts a lot easier for the stock market. But yeah, you can use it in the stock market as well too, especially for options too. All right, so I think we're good, y'all. So I'm about to hop off, enjoy the rest of my coffee while it's still hot. I can't believe it's still hot. And I'll probably come back on live tomorrow, actually, to talk about candlesticks a lot more in detail. The candlesticks I use, why I use them, how I look at them, and how I look at them to also help with the trend too. Because that's one of the things that we do in the price action masterclass as well, is we break the candlesticks down. I am not a firm believer in over analyzing the candlesticks. I was the first 2 years of my trading career, I spent too much time doing that. Trying to figure out this candlestick and that candlestick, and it was too over freaking whelming. I said, "Oh no, 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 no! I would not stay here and continue to do that." And so, for me personally, when I learned how to uncomplicate the candlesticks, I said, you know what? I'm gonna help other people learn how to uncomplicate it too. I think we put too much emphasis on them from time to time, and we forget that candlesticks are prices. Like they're people. Candlesticks are literally people, you know. And when I started to look at the candlesticks as people a lot more, like I said, it got easier. And when I teach it, you know, a lot of people are like, "Wow, so we don't have to do this and we don't have to do that." Nope, you don't have to do all that complicated stuff you've been learning. Some of the stuff you learn is too regurgitated. It needs to be updated, you know. And so that's what we're gonna do tomorrow if I come on here. We're gonna talk about the candlesticks. And if you got a question about the candlesticks, just DM me on Instagram and say, "Hey, can you talk about this with the candlesticks?" And if it's in my peripheral, my view, my scope, my range, I would definitely talk about it. Okay. But I'm about to go and enjoy the rest of my day. I pray you guys are doing well. If y'all have a question, y'all just DM me. Okay. So, you guys, y'all go be blessed. I will talk to y'all in the next video tomorrow where I'm going live. Be blessed, you guys.